Hey Sunshines, welcome back to Rina Loves Reading, a place all about the books that we're reading, the ones that we're adding to our TBRs, and the ones we really need to get off them. So today we're talking about the books that I am reading this last 8 days of February. Let's get into it. The first one, the first few I planned to read last week, but I didn't end up getting around to it. Work went to heck in a handbasket, and also family went to heck in the handbasket, so that didn't happen. But so I'll quickly go through these. Midnight Jewel I didn't finish. I'm about 30% into it. I'll probably finish it today, but did not finish it before I started doing these videos. This is a continuation of the Glittering Court series. Sorry, I have lipstick on my finger apparently. I am so far liking this book a lot better than the first book, but also this is an interesting series. It did not take the route that I expected the second book to take in terms of continuing on where the story picked up. Well, the first book ended. No, this backtracks to the beginning of the story and follows this character's journey throughout the Glittering Court and gives background information to the events in the first book. So I'm enjoying this character a lot better than I enjoyed the main character of the Glittering Court, so I'm flying through this basically. The second book we will be reading this week is Where Dreams Descends. Again, another one that I planned to read last week, but then things got out of hand, so we're going to do it this week. I am interested in this one. Again, this was a cover by, but also Greatest Showman vibes from what I heard and saw online. So I'm interested into getting into those Greatest Showmen because I want to learn more about like this world, and it sounds kind of like Hunger Games meets a little bit of the Greatest Showman. So I could be wrong about that, but once I get into the book more, I'm excited to see where it goes. The third book that we are reading, I officially have from Libby, which is part of the reason that I did not get to this one. These Violent Delights, so Japanese Asian culture meets Romeo and Juliet. This was the one I was most concerned about my monthly TBR because I don't particularly like Romeo and Juliet retellings. I don't know why I have not liked it. I'm just going to attest to it being because I got forced to read Romeo and Juliet and watch all of like the crappy movies in high school, and I didn't connect to the story. So I want to give these a shot because I love Asian cultures in terms of like K-pop and K-dramas and animes and mangas. So I am interested to try this one. I have the second book already, but we will see how I like the first two books. Black Sun is another one that I was supposed to read last week. I promise this is the last book that I was supposed to read last week that I'm getting to this week. Basically, dystopian novel follows something that has happened in terms of a ritual related to the sun. I'm interested. I love fantasies, and this was another cover by, because let's be honest, look at this cover and tell me it is not pretty. The next two books that I'm going to be reading this week will go on the BTS Made Me Read It series. The first is The Alchemist. I know this book is 25 years old. I know it's been a popular one, but for some reason it has never actually made it to me wanting to read it. It seems like a quick audiobook. I'll probably finish it about in an hour. So yes. This was a sugar recommendation too, so I'm a sugar bias, so we will see how I enjoy his reading taste. The second one is Kafka on the Sea. Again, I'm liking this author's cover, and it's always interesting to me because I'm in the American culture, so I get like the bright, colorful, fully illustrated books. When I get like minimalistic book covers like this, it reminds me of a college textbook. So, but from what I understand, this is going to be a very telling book. It was recommended by RM, and it basically is about a teenage boy who's run away and a simpleton who's aging and engaging with them. There's a talking cat, apparently, and very philosophical, which I expected with an RM read. I'm not going to lie, based off of some of the books that I've already read in the BTS Made Me Read It series, but we will see. Next book. I know. I'm aware I am packing my TBR full this week, but I also don't have like a 700-page book that I want to get through at the last minute like I did last week, and I think that also slowed me down a little bit. But the ones we're meant to find. Again, beautiful cover. Beautiful freaking cover. And it's basically the story of a girl, I believe, finding her memories, because the first tagline, it's been 3 years and 17 days since she woke up on the shore of an abandoned island, and she has no idea how she got there. So I'm interested in this one. Next, Beast of Prey. I am kind of mad on this one because they just changed the covers, and I find the new covers, especially in the American cultures, like the very illustrated people cover, to be a lot less boring, a lot more boring than this one. This one piqued my interest. I hate snakes and I still want to read it. The colors on this cover I find to be more appealing, but what do I know about the industry? And again, another fantasy book, a chunky fantasy book, so this will be my chunky book of the week. So I am interested, as always, in what I am reading. I'm a little nervous about this one. I'm not going to lie, but we will get through it. A classic that I am surprised I have not read yet, that all of my coworkers have told me to read, and a lot of the kids I work with have told me to read, but I have yet to read it. The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas is also on the list of books I want to read this week. I am always interested in looking at the world from different perspectives and seeing different cultures and different people tell their stories. You'll see in the books that I read this week, I really connected in that theme, and this is going to be a hard one. I know from the snippets that I've seen just scrolling on the internet talking about this book, this is going to be one of those emotional, I need to sit with this to truly understand the complexities and dynamics of the relationships in this and how it plays out following tragedy. I need to read it is where I'm at. I'm also nervous to read it because I know it's going to be such an emotional, hard-hitting book, but it's one that's needed to be read in the TBR. Kind of like White Fragility that I read this week as well. It's those social topics and understanding it have always piqued my interest. And I knew going back to this one, it just is a book that needs to be read. A book that you need to process. And I haven't watched the movie. I think there was a movie that came out with this as well, but I have not touched that one because I wanted to read it first. Yeah. The last book on the pile of this week, because I needed something light, and I'm assuming something light, but it's probably not going to be something light based off the author's books that I have read so far. They all have like that death and something horrible is going on theme, I realized. But it was a pretty cover, basically. It was a bright and shiny cover that I had not read on my bookshelf, so I am picking up Instructions for Dancing. just for the fact it was a bright, shiny cover, and I don't know why. But basically, it's about a girl who doesn't want to be in love anymore and trying to understand love stories and dance. So yes. So let's talk about the videos that are coming out this week. We've got what I read this week. So Clearing the Pile is coming up tomorrow, so Monday, and then probably on Wednesday I am going to be releasing a unofficial BTS, what's basically unofficial BTS biography, what's better, what's worse, which one should you read as a new ARMY video, to also go into the BTS Made Me Read It series. But that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you leave a like or comment down below, I will appreciate it. If you want to subscribe, even better. Have a wonderful day.